As I get older and I look back over my life and I look at when I was 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, you guys, I be so embarrassed and disgusted and ashamed of myself with the decisions I have made. When you have trauma in your household and you turn to different things, whether it's smoking, drinking, going out all night, sneaking out, stuff like that, or whether it's like having sex, stuff like that. I was younger, I turned to having sex. So, like I said, when you go through trauma, you just turn to different things. When I reflect back on my youth and the poor decisions I made, I just be like, it makes no sense how the amount of grown men that I messed with when I was 14, 15, and 16. It makes no sense. And a lot of these grown men have wives, have girlfriends, have kids around my age at the time. Just out there filling my head up and making me feel like I was special. Like when I was younger, I was just doing a lot of stuff. And I felt like, oh, I felt so good doing this stuff because I didn't have anybody. Like, I didn't have the love. I was getting abused at home. I was just going through so much hurt and pain at home. So I just turned to the street and I was just sleeping around, doing stuff like that. And I thank God for covering me with his blood and allow no harm or danger come my way. Like, he really had his hands on me. When I tell y'all, young girls out there, when I tell these young girls out here, don't just be sleeping around. I mean, it's so much more out there. Like, you are worth so much more. Like, you're worth so much more. You're worth so much more. Because to these men, we might think in our brains that it's something, especially when it's an older man. And I ain't talking about no, like, 20, 30. I was 14, 15 years old messing with 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds. And when I think about it, I have to be honest about that. Like, they were older. Like, a lot of times I didn't even know their age. I just knew they were older. Like, I was messing with my friend's dad. I was just doing anything because I didn't have anybody. Like, I did it. At my home, it was just pure crap. Like, I didn't have love. I went through so much and I turned to that. And I just think back until, like, I don't know if I'm thinking too much into it, but I just feel like if you were messing with a 13 or 14-year-old out there, what would you do to your own child? You know what I'm saying? And you like 30, 40 years old. And then you have wives, you're married, and it's like y'all taking advantage of a young girl. Of course, I take accountability for doing all the stuff I was doing. I take accountability for not making the best decisions. I take accountability for you not caring enough about myself and my health or caring enough about my body. I should have took care of myself more. I should have treated my body better than I did when I was younger. But when you're young like that, you just make a lot of crazy and wrong decisions. And it gets better. I'm here to tell y'all, it gets better. Like, it don't stay like that. As you get older, life gets better. You don't have to turn to these things. It's just going to make you feel good for that moment. But the kicker is, you're not getting nothing out of it. The man is getting stuff out of it. The older grown men, they're getting something out of it. You're not getting nothing out of it. You're just doing it just to do it, just to feel something. And a lot of times, like I said, I was doing that. I didn't feel anything. I was just doing it because I felt like somebody wanted me. They don't want anything. Anything they have, what you got, it don't make you special. Not with them anyways. It was just, when I look back, I just like, I could go back verbatim. Like, when I was messing with my friend's dad at the time, he found out that his daughter was messing around with a boy, but the boy was in his 20s, and his daughter was, I think she was 13 or 14 at the time. And he went into the neighborhood to beat the boy up. Like, he found out about it. This man went crazy. He went to the neighborhood. He beat the boy up. It was a big thing at the time. And it's like, but you was messing with me, and you're like in your 30s, almost 40, and I'm 14, and you was messing with me. But when you find out your daughter doing it, it was like you just went crazy. And then when I think about when I was like 15, how I fell in love with this boy, like, I believe he was like he could have been in his 30s. I fell in love with him, and I was like, just like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and you're gonna be driving the car, and we gonna be together when you get old enough, and this and that. And then I was just like, they would just tell me stories, and I was just like, yeah, yeah. And not only that, I remember one day, like, I was messing with this man that was cutting hair. It's just like, I have so many stories with it. I was messing with this man that was cutting hair, and he would just pick me up from the house. And this was when I left. I eventually left my house. I eventually left. Like, I moved out. I moved somewhere else. And this person would come pick me up at the house. And I think this was when I was, I want to say 17. 17. He was 17. I think this time I was 17. And he would pick me up, and he would get me out of the house. He would take me to the barbershop. We would do whatever at the barbershop. It was just crazy stories. And when I look back at it, I was just like, I did a lot of crazy stuff, and I didn't know my worth. And then one day, I don't know what it was. One day, I was tired. I just got tired. One day, I was just like, I want more for myself. I want more for myself. I want to love myself. I don't want to just be sleeping around. Like, I'm tired of just doing that because I'm not feeling nothing. Like, I'm just doing it just because, and I got tired. I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to do it anymore. And I was like, I want more for myself. And then I'll tell you, maybe, I want to say about a year or two later, God sent me my husband. He sent me my husband, and I did nothing with him in the beginning until, like, we got closer. Like, we actually built a relationship. It wasn't about sex. We actually built a relationship, and it turned to something special. And that was the first time that I got to experience what real love was about. Real love. And it's been history ever since. But it took me to come to got tired. I got tired, and I was like, I don't want to do this no more. I want more for myself. We deserve more for ourselves. You deserve more. We deserve more for ourselves. And when I felt like that, it was history ever since. When I felt that, I stopped. People would blow me up and want to do stuff. I was like, no, I don't do that no more. I changed. And when I changed, God changed my whole life around. He truly did. I gave that up because I was tired. Eventually, you'll get tired. And I just wanted to share my story, you guys, because it was on my brain. I was like, let me just let it out. Now I feel good and really because it's out.